Eleanor always prided herself on her sharp wit and even sharper memory. But then came the conversations. She'd spend hours replaying a casual chat with her grandson, dissecting every word, every pause. Was her tone just right? Did she sound too critical? This constant mental review wasn't just annoying, it was exhausting. One Sunday, her daughter gently pointed out how withdrawn Eleanor had become. She seemed hesitant to offer opinions, always second-guessing herself. In that moment, Eleanor realized something painful. Her relentless mental replays weren't making her wiser. They were slowly eroding her confidence and pushing her away from the very people she loved. This mental habit was stealing her peace, her easy joy in connection. If you've ever found yourself caught in this same mental loop, if Eleanor's story feels uncomfortably familiar, then you need to pay close attention. You might be making the same mistake, or you're at high risk of falling into this subtle trap. It's easy to dismiss this as simple rumination or just a sign of aging. But what if we've all been misunderstanding these mental replays? What if your brain isn't just dwelling on the past, but actively working to protect you? Your senior brain isn't simply stuck in regret. It's engaged in a sophisticated process. It's a complex stage of lifelong cognitive optimization. Your brain is trying to maximize its residual energy and minimize crucial relational risks. We're going to uncover 5 powerful mechanics at play. These aren't just memory issues. They are sophisticated, adaptive strategies your brain employs every single day. Ever find yourself stuck on a difficult conversation, playing it over and over in your head? It feels like a loop you can't escape. This isn't just about simple regret or rumination. It's your brain trying to protect you from future emotional overload. This constant replay is a critical, often misunderstood, protective measure. As we get older, our brains process intense emotions a bit differently. New, highly charged emotional events can feel overwhelming. Your brain, specifically a small but mighty part called the amygdala, works hard to manage this. The amygdala is your brain's alarm system for emotions. When you replay a tough conversation, it's like your brain is running a simulation. Each replay helps to gradually compress that intense emotional data. It's a desensitization process. This softens the sharp edges of past emotional shocks. This repetition actually builds your emotional resilience, preparing you for life's inevitable ups and downs. Think about Margaret, a woman in her late 70s. She kept replaying a tense phone call with her son David about holiday plans. He had sounded frustrated, and she felt a knot in her stomach every time she thought about it. She worried endlessly, convinced she had upset him deeply, and felt a lingering sense of guilt. This constant replay left her feeling drained and anxious, unable to fully enjoy her day. Instead of fighting these replays, try acknowledging what your brain is doing. When you catch yourself replaying a moment, consciously tell yourself, "My brain is processing this for my future strength." Then actively visualize the conversation ending differently, with a calmer tone or a clearer understanding. This isn't about changing the past. It's about giving your brain a new, less emotionally charged ending to process. You'll find a sense of calm washing over you, a feeling of control, and less of that nagging emotional burden. It shifts the replay from a burden to a tool for emotional growth. So, while your brain is busy compressing emotions, it's also doing something else remarkable. It's working to validate all the wisdom you've gathered over the years. Let's explore that next. Have you ever found yourself replaying a conversation, not just to remember it, but to scrutinize every single word? You might be wondering, did I handle that right? Was my advice truly sound? Does my lifetime of experience even apply anymore? This isn't just idle thought. It's your brain running a crucial legacy check. Your mind is actively validating what we call your personal wisdom quotient. It's a sophisticated neurological rehearsal, like an internal courtroom. Your brain is testing the predictive power of your accumulated wisdom against the complexities of reality. It runs if-then scenarios. If I had said this, then what would have happened? This isn't mere second guessing. It's deep meaning making. You're distilling lasting life lessons. You're ensuring your moral and social understanding still holds true. This process either reinforces your personal wisdom or helps you recalibrate it, making it stronger and more relevant for today. Think about Alice. She once advised her granddaughter, Sarah, to always speak her mind, no matter what. Later, Sarah found herself in a difficult situation at work, feeling like she'd followed that advice too literally. Alice started replaying their conversation for weeks. She felt a knot in her stomach, wondering if she'd truly led Sarah astray. Did I teach her courage or just recklessness? She agonized. The joy of sharing her wisdom was replaced by a gnawing fear that her legacy might be one of misguidance. When you catch yourself in this, legacy check, loop, pause. Instead of just replaying, consciously engage with it. Ask yourself, what specific insight am I trying to confirm or refine here? Then, consider what new information you have now that you didn't have then. Use that to update your internal guidance system. You can even mentally revise the conversation, not to change the past, but to solidify your current understanding. This practice transforms nagging doubt into quiet confidence. You'll feel a powerful sense of clarity, knowing your wisdom is not static, but a dynamic, ever-improving resource. Validating our wisdom is essential for our sense of self. But sometimes, those replays aren't about what we said, but about what we did or didn't do. Ever felt that nagging feeling? That deep discomfort when something you did or said just doesn't sit right with who you believe you are? That internal clash, when your actions don't align with your values, is what experts call cognitive dissonance. Your brain finds this internal conflict incredibly draining. It's especially taxing for the senior brain, which prioritizes minimizing such mental friction. So it replays those moments, particularly when your actions didn't quite match your values, what we call social debt. This replaying isn't just regret. It's your brain attempting a sophisticated mental rehearsal. You're mentally constructing the perfect apology, the ideal response you wish you'd given. This neurological self-forgiveness protocol is your brain's clever way of lowering stress hormones, easing that internal tension, and replacing negative memories with a more neutral or even positive internal narrative. Take Lori, for example. She felt a knot tighten in her stomach for days after she'd snapped at her daughter-in-law Sarah during a phone call. Sarah had simply asked for help with childcare, and Lori, overwhelmed that day, had replied sharply, "Can't you manage anything yourself?" Lori knew immediately it wasn't fair, not kind, and certainly not the grandmother she wanted to be. For days, the conversation looped in her mind. She'd imagined saying sorry, explaining her stress, but the real words were already out there, causing a rift she desperately wanted to heal. When you catch yourself replaying such a moment, don't just endure it. Consciously acknowledge the ideal response you wish you had given. Then, vividly imagine yourself delivering that perfect message, with the tone and empathy you intended. Picture the understanding in their eyes, the relief in your own heart. This isn't about erasing the past, but it allows your brain to complete the emotional circuit and mentally pay off that social debt. You'll often feel a quiet peace wash over you, a gentle release from that nagging internal friction. But sometimes, our brains aren't just tidying up old social debts. They're actively working to keep our understanding of others sharp and our empathy finely tuned. Have you ever felt like you just couldn't quite grasp what someone really meant? Or maybe you've been misunderstood yourself, and it created a rift. This subtle blurring of understanding can slowly strain your most cherished relationships. It's like a key that no longer quite fits the lock, making genuine connection harder to achieve. Your brain possesses an incredible ability called theory of mind. This is how you intuitively understand that others have their own unique thoughts, feelings, and intentions, distinct from your own. As we age, this intricate skill can sometimes become less fluid. Your brain, in its profound wisdom, replays conversations to keep this crucial function finely tuned. It's a mental workout for your empathy, ensuring you continue to perceive others' motivations accurately. Consider Martha, who felt increasingly hurt by her daughter Clara. Martha thought Clara was constantly criticizing her choices, especially about her garden. After a particularly tense phone call, Martha found herself replaying Clara's words, feeling a familiar sting. But this time, she consciously shifted her focus. She remembered Clara mentioning stress at work and a tough week. Suddenly, Martha heard not criticism, but concern hidden beneath Clara's hurried tone. The sting faded, replaced by a wave of understanding and a renewed warmth towards her daughter. When a conversation keeps looping, try intentionality mapping. Instead of just replaying the words, actively ask yourself, what might they have been feeling when they said that? What could their underlying intention have been, beyond the surface words? This simple shift helps you decode true meaning, even if it's hidden. You'll feel a powerful sense of clarity and connection, strengthening your most important bonds and preventing misunderstandings from taking root. Understanding others deeply is powerful, but your brain also works hard to make sure you're investing your energy wisely. Next, we'll uncover how your brain acts as a mental auditor, reviewing your past efforts to optimize your future interactions. Mechanism 5, V, resource allocation, review, efficiency of effort. Have you ever felt utterly drained after a social gathering, even if it seemed pleasant enough at the time? Or perhaps a long phone call left you feeling more tired than refreshed? This isn't just about avoiding conflict. Your brain is performing a sophisticated cost-benefit analysis. It's evaluating whether the mental and emotional energy you invested in a conversation truly paid off. Think of it as your internal auditor. It's trying to make sure you get the most bang for your buck from your social interactions. It flags those exchanges where the emotional cost far outweighs the benefit, encouraging you to allocate your precious energy more wisely in the future. Consider Patricia, a vibrant 68-year-old. She recently spent an hour on the phone with a relative who only talked about their own complaints, never once asking about Patricia's day. For days afterward, Patricia found herself replaying snippets of that call. She wasn't angry, but deeply tired. Each replay brought a fresh wave of mental fatigue, a stark reminder of how little she received for her generous listening. Her brain was highlighting the depletion, the imbalance of that interaction. When you find yourself replaying a draining interaction, acknowledge what your brain is trying to tell you. Instead of just replaying, consciously ask yourself, did this interaction nourish me or deplete me? What was the emotional cost versus the benefit? If the cost is too high, empower yourself to adjust. You might decide to shorten future calls or gently redirect the conversation if it becomes one-sided. This clarity brings a profound sense of control. You feel empowered to protect your precious energy, leading to more fulfilling connections and less exhaustion. So, we've explored 5 powerful ways your brain is working behind the scenes. But what does all this mean for you, and what can you do about it? Now, for a small challenge. Right now, think of just one conversation you've replayed recently. Which of these 5 mechanisms seems to be at play for you? Just pick one. No need to overthink it. Share your insight in the comments below. Tell us which mechanism resonated most with you, or how you plan to use this new understanding.